The scream tore through the quiet of willow pines like a siren in a storm. It wasn't the kind of sound you expected in a neighborhood of manicured lawns and pastel shutters, where the most scandalous event was usually a misplaced recycling bin. But there it was, raw and jagged, echoing from the cul-de-sac where Emily Harper's pristine colonial stood. I froze mid-step on my morning jog, earbuds dangling, heart pounding as neighbors spilled onto their porches, drawn like moths to the chaos. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. And deep down, I knew it had to do with her. Ollie V.Y. Grant, the iron-fisted president of our homeowners association, had finally crossed a line no one could ignore. My name is Sarah Bennett, and I never imagined my tidy suburban life in Willow Pines would spiral into a war zone. I'd moved here 5 years ago, lured by the promise of community barbecues and safe streets for my 2 kids. But Ollie V.Y. Grant had other plans for our little slice of paradise. With her sleek blonde bob, designer athleisure, and a smile that never reached her eyes, she ruled the HOA like a monarch. Her word was law, her clipboard a scepter. Forgot to trim your hedges by a 1/4 inch? Expect a violation notice. Park your car facing the wrong direction? She'd have a tow by dawn. Most of us grumbled, but complied, too tired or too busy to challenge her reign. That is, until she targeted the Morales family and their little girl, Sophia. Sofia Moralesitadzi. Sophia Morales was the heart of Willow Pines. At 9 years old, she was a whirlwind of giggles and glitter, always darting through the neighborhood on her pink scooter, trailing laughter like confetti. Her parents, Lucia and Javi, were warm and generous, the kind of neighbors who drop off homemade tamales just because it was Tuesday. When Sophia was diagnosed with leukemia at 6, the entire community rallied. We held bake sales, ran 5 Burmese chots, and prayed harder than we'd ever prayed. For 3 years, Sophia fought like a warrior, her bald head wrapped in colorful scarves, her smile never fading. But last spring, the cancer won. Sophia slipped away quietly, Leah VYing a hole in our hearts no amount of time could fill. The idea for a memorial came from Lucia. She wanted a small garden in the community park where Sophia used to chase butterflies, a patch of sunflowers, her favorite, circling a simple plaque with her name. It wasn't much, just a way to keep her spirit alive. I offered to handle the logistics, partly because I needed to do something, anything, to ease the ache of her absence. I spent weeks gathering signatures, securing city permits, and double-checking HOA bylaws. Everything was airtight. The board minus Ollie VYA, who was vacationing in the Bahamas, approved it unanimously. We planted the garden on a sunny Saturday, neighbors young and old digging in the dirt, laughing through tears. Lucia sobbed as she placed the plaque. Sophia Morales, our sunshine, 20142023. It was perfect. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a text from Lucia. It's gone. Someone destroyed it. I raced to the park, my stomach churning. The garden was obliterated, sunflowers uprooted, the plaque missing, and a laminated note pinned to the ground. Unauthorized installations VY Olate HOA policy. Removed by management. My blood ran cold. Only one person could be this cruel. I found Lucia at her house, clutching a photo of Sophia, her eyes red and raw. "Why would someone do this, Sarah?" she whispered. I didn't have an answer, but I had a name, Ollie V.Y. Grant. Promising to fix this, I grabbed my folder of permits and marched to Ollie V.Y.'s house, fury simmering beneath my calm exterior. Ollie V.Y. answered the door in a silk robe, a mug emblazoned with Boss Lady in her hand. Her lips curled into a smirk as I held up photos of the ruined garden. "Good morning, Sarah. Here to complain about that tacky little display." "It wasn't tacky," I said, voice steady. "It was a memorial for a child, and it was fully approved. I have the permits, the petition, the board's vote, everything. You had no right to touch it." She sipped her coffee, unfazed. Rules are rules. That thing didn't match the community's aesthetic standards. I removed it, as is my authority. I slid the folder across her porch table. "These are official documents. Ollie V.Y.A. City-stamped permits. Board minutes. You weren't even at the meeting. The VYC president signed off. It's all legal. Her eyes flicked to the papers, and for a moment, I saw a crack in her armor. Then she shoved the folder back. This is irrelevant. The items were disposed of. If the Moraleses want to try again, they can submit a proper proposal. I'll re-VYEW it personally. Disposed of. My voice rose. Where's the plaque? Ollie VYA. Where are the sunflowers? She gestured lazily toward her backyard. The plaque's in the dumpster. The flowers? I replanted them. They're community property, after all. Her smirk returned, and I realized she wasn't just enforcing rules, she was enjoying this. I pulled out my phone, snapping photos of the sunflowers now blooming in her meticulously curated garden. This isn't over, Ollie VYA. You destroyed a memorial, stole community property, and acted without board approval. I'm documenting everything. Her face twisted. You're trespassing. I'll have you fined. I'll sue you. She lunged for my phone, but I stepped back, still photographing. Neighbors began to gather, drawn by her shrieks. This is harassment, she screamed. Harassment? I turned to the crowd, holding up my phone. Ollie VY had destroyed Sophia Morales' memorial and planted the flowers in her own yard. Is this who we want running our HOA? The murmurs grew louder, angrier. Ollie VYA's eyes darted around, her composure unraveling. In a desperate move, she charged at me, screaming about bylaws and authority. Her foot caught on a sprinkler head, and she stumbled, crashing into her own flower bed, crushing the stolen sunflowers. The crowd gasped, then fell silent. The irony was almost poetic. Brushing dirt from her robe, Ollie VY stormed inside, slamming the door and yelling about violation notices. But the tide had turned. I called Lucia, who listened quietly as I explained what I'd found. Send me the photos, she said, her voice eerily calm. I didn't know it then, but Lucia's brother, Matteo, was a lawyer with a knack for property disputes and a personal vendetta against bullies like Ollie VYA. 3 days later, Ollie VY received a legal bombshell, a cease and desist letter, and a lawsuit for vandalism, theft, emotional distress, and most damning potential hate crime charges. The suit noted that Sophia's memorial, created by the only Latino family in Willow Pines, was the only one targeted, raising questions about Ollie VYA's motives. Mateo's firm didn't play games. The neighborhood buzzed with outrage. We called an emergency HOA meeting, and for once, Ollie VYA wasn't in control. She strutted in, expecting to dominate, but the room turned on her. Mr. Patel, the VYC president, stood up. Ollie VYA, under our bylaws, the president can be suspended pending a misconduct investigation. That motion passed this morning. You're relieved of duties. Her jaw dropped. You can't do this. I'm the president. Not anymore, Mr. Patel said. Sit down or leave. Ollie VY froze, then bolted, the door slamming behind her. But her downfall was just beginning. Someone nobody admitted who leaked the photos to the local news. By evening, the headline HOA President Destroys Child's Memorial, Steals Flowers was everywhere. Social media erupted, and Ollie VYA's name became synonymous with heartlessness. Her career as a real estate agent imploded when her brokerage suspended her, scrubbing her face from their website. The for sale signs bearing her smile vanished overnight. The police got involved next. After re-VYUing my photos, Lucia's testimony, and neighbor statements, they charged Ollie VYA with vandalism, petty theft, and destruction of a memorial of felony in our state. The hate crime angle was still under investigation, but the existing charges were enough to keep her in court for years. I was outside with Lucia and Ja VY when the police arrived at Ollie VYA's house. Neighbors lined the street, watching as officers escorted her to a squad car. She wasn't cuffed, but her perfect hair was a mess, her eyes hollow. Spotting us, she lost it. "This is your fault," she screamed, pointing at me. "You've destroyed me over some stupid flowers." Lucia stepped forward, her voice cutting through the silence. "They were my daughter's flowers, Ollie VYA. My dead daughter's flowers. The officer guided Ollie VY into the car. Through the window, I saw her collapse, sobbing not out of guilt, but because her empire had crumbled. As the car drove away, I looked at Lucia, who managed a small, sad smile. Sophia would have loved this, she said. She always said bullies never win. In the weeks that followed, we rebuilt Sophia's garden, bigger and brighter, with sunflowers stretching toward the sky. Ollie VY resigned from the HOA. Her house went up for sale, and whispers spread that she'd moved out of state. The lawsuit was settled quietly, with a hefty payout to the Moraleses, who donated it to a pediatric cancer charity in Sophia's name. Willow Pines changed after that. We elected a new HOA president, someone who cared about people, not power. And every spring, when the sunflowers bloom, we gather in the park to remember Sophia not with tears, but with laughter, tamales, and the kind of love that outlasts even the cruelest storms. Ollie VY Grant may have been the queen of Willow Pines, but Sophia Morales was its soul, and no one, not even a tyrant in a silk robe, could take that away. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.